Greetings everyone, welcome to another DBC Showcase, and here we have the Project Octopath Traveler demo. This is a game that was showcased, I want to say, no, it was the April Nintendo Direct, where they covered upcoming Switch games.
Yeah, it was one of those directs.
It was just Project Octopath at that point.
No, still Project Octopath Traveler, I think. But it is a working title. I gotta say I do like the name. It makes sense. With regards to the themes, there are 8 characters. Also, I leave the title screen to show off, all the 8 characters. Also, this music is good. So fucking good. It's actually being made by the Bravely Default team. So as you see, we have 8 people. So the idea is, it's kind of like a Sonic Adventure style type of thing where you select different pathways. I have a few things that sort of bring up.
You mean you select a character and you go through their own story?
Yeah.
If
I
you
do
complete
have
all their stories. Do you get to play as Super Olberic?
Shut up. No. We don't know. Maybe there's
Is there a fat dude whose thing is just fishing?
Shut up. But no, the thing here's we'll get to that actually.
8 years ago.
So the thing is, I do have some things that this question, several questions that the demo itself brings up. But I think it's more, I hope that it's just a matter of, being a demo, but there are certain things I have to bring up later when it gets relevant, that I hope isn't reflected with the main game. But yeah, so this pathway, we are controlling Olberic, the knight of the party.
Is he voiced by Travis Willingham?
No, he is not.
Okay, it sounds.
I know. I thought so too.
It sounds vaguely like him.
That's at the end of his playthrough, we'll see the credits. Also, I gotta say, the voice acting's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good for this kind of game.
And goddamn, this music is so fucking good.
Can we take a minute to talk about the world shading and that, and the lighting?
That is, dude, this game. Okay, so the pixel art, I love the fact that the pixel art graphics, that's just for sprites. The world in and of itself is gorgeous.
And this is just a flashback, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, they're definitely doing a pretty good job with that. What is it? Sepia tone that they like to use for flashbacks?
It's this, and can I just say, just the right amount of bloom.
Yes. Dude, you could even see lens flares if you look up at the top right. You can see the sun rays. This game is gorgeous.
I feel like I've seen some independent films that have this sort of visual presentation.
I mean, this is easy to actually. This is pretty easy to pull off in Vegas.
Yeah, but it's just again, just the right amount of bloom. It's not fucking what's a good example that's not fucking Wind Waker HD.
Twilight Princess, the original.
Twilight Princess.
That's one discredit I have to against the HD version. I think Twilight Princess had the fog. It's kind of like the Silent Hill 2 remaster or HD problem. Where the fog, the fog in the original Twilight Princess had was really good to help sort of. It had a good atmosphere. They didn't remove it completely, but they sort of cleared it up a bit much.
There's a difference between how it was in Twilight Princess and how it was in Silent Hill 2. In Silent Hill 2, even on newer TVs, it could still look good. Twilight Princess, the second you put it on an HD TV,
you could see the poly. That's one credit. Yeah. The HD, they managed to smooth out the polygons.
Yeah.
But oh my, this story. So, in case you're wondering, yeah, the king is facing a rebellion. This man, the man in blonde, Earhart, is one of Olberic's most trusted friends, and he's the one who is leading the rebellion.
Eh.
Also, if you look at Olberic, it brings me to something I was going to say. I brought the pixel art graphics with the sprites. Don't mistake that for being minimalistic. Holy shit, it is detailed. Like, even though it's minimalistic, like sprites, that's not, the minimalistic is not evident,
Wait. I just thought of something. Is Olberic's sword particularly big, or is it just how it looks?
I'm not sure. I think it's kind of like, a full, combat garb.
Well, okay, so Olberic has a really big sword, and he's betrayed by a pretty boy blonde friend. Is this Berserk?
but
Is
yeah,
this fucking Berserk?
But yeah, like, dude, you can see he has white streaks in his hair.
It is Berserk!
But yeah, like...
Is he missing an eye?
What is it?
No.
Damn it. Does he have a fake arm?
But yeah, like, the minimalistic for the sprite graphics, that is not a mark on the sprite quality. You know, they're small, simple, but holy shit, they are detailed. We'll especially get to this in the next scenario for Primrose.
Oh my god, I thought that the reason why that grass or whatever looked so pixelated was because it was just so close up. No, it's blurred.
Yeah, it has a blur effect using the pixels.
Holy fuck, that's like a, what is it, range of focus? I think it is, I'm trying to remember.
Well, no, yeah, it's like a focus effect where it's trying to focus on the room.
Or is it depth of field?
I think that might be depth of field.
Yeah, I was trying to remember.
But, like, they make the pixels worse to give it like a blurry effect. Like, this game is gorgeous, and they use the pixel art in just the right ways.
Lost. My land in ruin. I wandered aimlessly.
Is this guy just guts? Seriously.
I haven't watched Berserk, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, you can watch, I would say watch the first 3 films, and don't watch the new anime for the love of God.
Not a glamorous.
I hear good things about the anime.
Oh god, it looks ugly.
Mm.
It is ugly. Like, at least the TV version.
As the blade of my side, and the arm that swings it. When that
Like,
blade
just
fails
wait
to
until the Blu-rays, but ugh.
Also, I really like Olberic. So far, both stories are really good. The writing in Olberic's story is great, but dude, just wait till we get to Primrose. Like, I actually teared up a bit in Primrose's story without spoiling anything.
A debt I intend to repay.
This sounds like something straight out of fucking Berserk. God damn it.
What, guy who lost his king to a friend who betrayed him, and now he's...
He didn't lose his king. He was... Guts was part of a mercenary band.
Mm-hmm.
But the leader... But he was best friends with the leader, and he...
It was betrayed?
Yeah.
So now he...
Guts got it way worse.
Yeah, so, like, Olberic now doesn't have much confidence in himself, as we saw, with his self-reflection. What good is a sword that can't protect, his king? So right now, he's sort of going through a crisis of purpose. So, right now, he was taken in by this village. So now he's helping out how he can. He's training the Watchmen how to fight and stuff like that. So actually, we're about to get introduced to the interesting mechanic for this game. Well, several mechanics. This game has a few interesting things to its gameplay. But we'll so each character has their own ability out in the field. We'll see it in Primrose, but she can allure townsfolk.
Oh my.
She can allure NPCs to base.
Is it exactly what I think?
She she flirts with them and they join. Basically temporarily join the party in a sense that they follow you wherever you go unless you dismiss them. And then Primrose can actually summon them in battle as an AI ally.
Huh.
Temporarily. They do run away after a while. But meanwhile, Olberic, his field ability is, well, we'll actually be able to see it here. This is me trying to figure out where to go, because I actually recorded this blind.
Oh, that's...
I'd only played, Primrose story, so I was recording Olberic's, during my first time, so it's a bit slow at the beginning. I actually don't know what I'm doing right now. Go right! Oh, I think I'm... Go right. Go right. Talk to the mayor. Oh, what the fuck?
What?
Oh, come on.
Well met.
Here's Cobblestone.
Hey there.
I wonder if Olberic will get a sword that's just like, it's called like the Dragon Slayer.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah,
Alright, so you had to talk to the mayor. Actually, I think I know what happened. I just wasn't paying attention during the cutscene, and I was doing something else, so I wasn't sure what I needed to do next. But why I didn't cut that out? I don't know. So yeah, we're about to get introduced to it, but Olberic's field ability is he can challenge anybody to a duel. So it's good practice for combat, and I wanted to bring that up, but I also wanted to this is where we also get introduced to the game's combat system, so I wanted to talk more about it there. This town music is so good.
Oh yeah, it's...
So I guess
The way I see it, like, okay, full disclosure, I fucking love the soundtrack to Nier. There's a problem with a lot of the overworld themes, and it's that it loops way too quickly. And it's just like, yeah, it feels very repetitive, but this would not be too... It wouldn't be too far outside of the realm of what Nier would do.
So while we... Oh, well, here we are. I'll ask for your guys' impressions after we get introduced. Oh, here we are. So every character has a path action. Olberic can challenge people to a duel, and Primrose can allure people and get them to follow her. So, well, I'll ask for your guys' impressions after we take a look at the combat system.
Let us fight with honor.
Okay, so every enemy has a weakness. Weapon type. With Olberic you have swords and spears, and with Primrose you have daggers and you have darkness magic.
How about you?
So every time you strike someone with their weakness, that shield icon goes down. When that happens, you break them. Basically, they're stunned and they're more vulnerable.
Does a stun mean that they skip their next turn automatically?
Yes, I show that off
so
actually. I show it off actually.
So it's the press turn system from the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yes. It's basically a mix of the press turn system and a sort of variation of Bravely Default's Brave and Default system. Rather than opting to skip your next turn, skip a turn to build up points or to or to like use multiple turns at the expense of skipping your next turns. Every round you get, if you looked at the top right, well, we'll be going through a few duels, so I'll be able to talk about it.
I was actually briefly reminded of Xenogears. Just then.
I see.
Well, without the whole comboing.
Yeah. You'll see how the combo stuff works.
Berserk.
So,
Indeed.
it'd be great if I had a visual here. Okay, there we go. So, if you, so you can see the turns up on the top.
Yeah.
So you'll see I'm about to, well, attack, oh, I think I'm showing off, his abilities. I was also doing that, at the beginning, showing off what he can do. So now that he's braked, now he lost his turn. So basically, actually, you get 3 turns in a row. You skip their turn, but they don't get a turn next. So basically, essentially, they lose 2 turns. They lose their upcoming turn, and they lose the next turn to recover. So, alright, so if you notice, with each round, if you look up right under Olberic's name, you have boost ticks.
Yeah.
Every round, you get one, up to a cap of 5. What you can do with that is you can boost your abilities. Boost your attack, or boost your abilities. And, you know, give them more strength.
That's
spending
definitely
up
straight
to
from
spending
goddamn,
up to a cap of 3. So, you know, you have base level 1, and you can bring it up to a max level 4. So, it's that balancing of, okay, do I want to... so if you boost an ability, it'll be stronger. But if you boost a standard attack, you'll attack multiple times. That's how you're going to be wanting to break, some enemies that have a lot more shielding to them.
That's very, Bravely Default.
Yes. Well, I don't think, well, I haven't played Bravely Default.
Well, it's not, okay, it's not straight up Bravely
It's
Default,
that multiple
but it's
attacks.
a takeoff of it.
Yeah, it's the, yeah, that's what I was saying. It's, it is made by the Bravely Default team, to be fair.
Yeah. Which, although this does seem, to me, this seems a lot more interesting than Bravely Default.
In what sense?
No.
I don't, this doesn't, well, because, Bravely Default just seems like, I'm not trying to say it's less than, but it seems kind of like Final Fantasy Light.
Well, I mean, it is basically a spiritual. It's basically a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy V with its job system.
I know, but this seems different enough to where it's just.
Yeah, this game is definitely unique.
Yeah, so that part of the reason for not wanting to pick up Bravely Default, besides the fact that I'm just not motivated to get a 3DS, is that it's just like, okay, this just is Final Fantasy. What
I mean, that's not necessarily
if
a
I
bad
want,
thing.
well, but no, it's my personal thing.
And I will
like,
say this: the gameplay is Final Fantasy-esque, with its own unique spins, you know, the Brave and Default system. But the story is really damn good. But anyways, so I guess to recap with it, if you use abilities if you boost abilities, it'll increase in power. If you boost attacks, you can attack multiple times, and that's how you'll be breaking a lot of enemies that have a higher shield level.
Enemy shield analyzed.
But yeah, so, you know, while we deal with cutscenes right before the next battle, where I can show off some pretty good I don't remember how
They keep calling you Berg. Do you go by a pseudonym in this town?
Yes. You know, he's kind of living in shame. You know, he's ashamed of who he was. So, he doesn't want people to see him as a knight. He's just a regular guy who just knows how to fight. He's a fighter, and now he's no longer a knight.
Okay, so people know the name Olberic.
No. He's just known. He goes by people. They know him as Berg.
That's right.
He's hiding his identity.
Okay.
But would they? But if he said my name is Olberic, would they know? Oh, I know who that is.
I don't know. I think they bring it up at near the end of the path, but I'm not sure. I think it's more of a stance for him. He doesn't see himself as the person he once was.
Okay.
So with this final combat section, and then
Indeed.
so I'll be able to show off a bit more, in depth for the combat. So while that happens, unless I have to cut in to show anything off, what are your guys' impressions on this game?
With honor.
Whoa!
What?
Those bandit sprites.
What? Oh, you're the cubed. The fact that it's like the waving cubes, or the sprites themselves.
The sprites themselves.
What about them?
That looks really good.
Yeah, like, dude, the enemy design is great. Okay, so yeah, you saw, so I used one of my abilities, Level Sweep, which is an AoE. So, also, I'm about to oh, yeah. So remember when I said you could do beautiful things with this game system?
Yeah.
I don't give them a single turn.
Wow.
Look, because I was storing up my boost, now that guy that had 2 shielding, now I can attack him twice. What are you doing? Pass me, what are you doing? Oh, I think I'm testing to... Oh. I think I was testing to see what, if they were weak to javelins as well. Because remember, I'm doing this blind.
Okay.
So yeah, like, break them. I break 2 people, and because it's a sword attack, I lower that guy's shield by 1. Simple attack next. Bam. And now on my next turn, I'll do the same thing. Like, it is ridiculously easy to just not give opponents a chance to move. Like, it is hilarious.
Eric, what do you have to say?
The thrill of the fight.
It's definitely a game.
What are your thoughts on the game?
It doesn't look too bad. Mostly it reminds me of some Final Fantasy.
I mean, it is using a similar sprite style to, like, say, Final Fantasy 4 and 6.
The worlds definitely have a lot more going for them than Final Fantasy.
Well, I mean, they... I'd say for this, there's a more... there's a different focus, because, the focus is you're basically playing through someone's life, if that makes sense. So, the towns are really in depth.
What?
No.
So, Snake, what do you think of how I managed to cheese that fight?
What?
They were only able to hit me like twice.
I thought it was bad in Persona games. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
As you wish.
But yeah, so I do try to experiment because you notice Olberic can use swords and spears. So I was trying to experiment. That's why I ended up losing my chance to break them and reset them, and I got hit 3 times, but still they only hit me 3 times.
Berserk.
That's the best part, most satisfying part of this game, when you can just go in an endless loop. I definitely show that off with Primrose. You can just go in an endless loop and just either not give anyone a turn, or like only have one person attack you out of a horde of 4. It is hilarious.
Alright, so where's the Dragon Slayer and Berserker armor?
Fuck you. This isn't Berserk. This is better.
Excuse me?
Also, interesting thing to note, and this is something I found out when I was recording my endgame playthrough. I don't know if I showed it off or not. At the very least, the armor in this game isn't locked on characters. So even though Primrose mainly just uses daggers, weapons might be locked to characters, but the armor is not. So you can give Primrose, the dancer, armor, a bronze helm, and an iron shield, and you could have Olberic wear the what was it, the silk armor, the silk robe, and the circlet.
Eric? Eric, are you thinking of that one scene from JoJo Part 2 as well?
I don't know. What was he talking about?
He was talking about how, like, armor isn't locked to specific characters, so like, you can have Olberic wearing, like, the dancer's armor and Primrose wearing, like knight's armor. And I think Olberic wearing dancer's gear, and I just think of whenever Joseph's trying to invade the Nazi base in Mexico.
There's a Nazi base in Mexico? What?
It's a one where he tries to cross-dress to fool the guards.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so yeah,
JoJo Part 2 is weird.
Again, I ask, there's a Nazi base in Mexico?
Yeah, in JoJo there's...
You cut out Snake.
Yeah, in part 2, the Nazis set up a base in Mexico where they study one of the Pillar Men.
Huh.
It's a good day for battle.
Alright, so...
Shit, we got Ratman.
Level sweep, take out, break that one guy and lower one on him. Time to do some beautiful things. Break you. Time to not get hit.
How about you?
Oh, look at that! I have enough boost.
How about you?
Oh, also, yeah, I was actually wondering why he wasn't attacking, but no, it was because, he actually moved, he's actually faster than Olberic, so he was able to attack first.
Huh.
So that had me wondering, like, yeah, see, now that he's recovered.
How about you?
So yeah, that's a bit, it took me a while to catch on to that. I was wondering, like, why the hell are you attacking me first?
Yeah, he rolled higher on initiative.
Yeah. This is me thinking I can take him out with one level sweep. Level slash.
One level slash.
Yeah, and there we go. Dead.
I love those particle effects, by the way.
Yeah, like seriously, this game looks gorgeous. So what
Like,
here?
I'm gonna be frank, they have no business being in this game, but they are, and it just looks so good. I think part of the reason why this game looks so good is because you're not expecting it to. And I think part of the reason why it looks so good is because, like...
Look at the bird! Seriously, look at how detailed that is.
Yeah.
That should show, like, the sprite quality is not for a lack of trying. That is a clear artistic design.
I mean, it's also, you know, like, Square directly funded this, right?
Well, it is the Bravely team, so I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this has nothing to do with it's the style is due to budget. No, it's because, like, they had. I think I get the feeling some designers had some ideas about about this, and Square just said no. Said we like this actually. So let's do this. That's what I like to think, at least.
Well,
Yeah, but
it's kind of why some indie games are successful, even when they look more like classic games. You know that they wanted to do that.
yeah.
Because there's just some fun you can have with very classic styled games.
But yeah, so you saw after, like, the damage to break was like 55, but then after it broke, the next consecutive hits did like 88.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, breaking not only caused them to miss a turn, but also makes them more vulnerable. So one trick that I do, especially for bosses, is I break them.
Oh, I really want. I just want to say I really want to hear the victory theme now because I heard the flutes come in.
Next battle, I think, if it's random. So I did cut out a lot of random battles. Any repeats. So if it's a Bird and Ratman, yeah. So this is where I start cutting out. But yeah, so, one thing that I especially do for bosses is use basic attacks to, break them, or I, or I boost basic attacks to get multiple hits, and leave them at 1, build up my gauge, simple attack to break, and then I charge up a big attack for massive damage. I definitely do that with Primrose in her boss fight. I don't remember how well I managed to do it. Oh, I actually died on Olberic's boss.
Really?
Yeah, because I was, it took me a while. I think I was just a bit too cocky. I don't leave that in. I think I'm 90% sure I cut it out.
Oh.
Indeed.
You gotta love those. those.
No, you know what this soundtrack reminds me of? I think Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah. 9 soundtrack is amazing. I was replaying it and I'm hooked on it. It's so good. I actually learned how to play You're Not Alone on guitar. But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on the game? In the, we can go into it a bit more. So the way I handled Olberic's and Primrose playthroughs, I have one part for, like, the intro, like the opening stuff, and then once they go into their respective dungeons, I cut that out, and I cut that into the second part. You know, the dungeon and their boss fight, and their epilogue, and some extra encounters as I go to meet up with the respective other party member, so that I can recruit them, and then that's where I end it. So you'll see an example in this playthrough, in the next part. And then I have an end game bit where there's a side quest in there's a side quest and then there's a dungeon, and I do all that for end game to show off, you know, the team play.
There's a very great discrepancy between the damage values and the experience values.
What do you mean?
Well, like, the experience is like you get to the next level at like 22 EXP and that, but the damage values seem to go like into the, like, those were base books. I think I counted like just below 1,000 health for each of them.
Dude, you can get when I was on my first playthrough, when I finished up Primrose's story and I got recruited Olberic, one thing to note, and I'll bring this up later when we actually see it. When you recruit party members, they start at level 1. But yeah, so when I was with Primrose and I recruited Olberic, at level 1, I got him to do 3k damage in one hit.
Wow.
At level 1. I love this game already.
Insert Owen Wilson. Wow.
Like, I love this game already. I had the goofiest fucking grin when I was able to pull that off.
Wow.
Anyways, we'll see you guys at the next part and the conclusion of Olberic's playthrough.